The narcissist's game always needed noise. Arguments, reactions, explanations, emotion. And then you chose silence. At first, it didn't feel powerful. It felt confusing, maybe even wrong. Your mind kept asking, should I say something? Should I fix this? But deep down, something in you had already decided. Not from logic, but from exhaustion, from truth. You didn't stop speaking because you had nothing to say. You stopped because you finally understood they were never listening. There's something important to realize here. You were not the one creating chaos. You were responding to it. You tried to explain, to fix, to bring peace. That didn't make things better. It made you a target. Because for someone who thrives on control and emotional reactions, peace feels like rejection. So they pushed harder. They provoked, confused, and shifted blame, hoping you would react. Because once you reacted, they could point at you and rewrite the story. That's the trap. But silence breaks that pattern. Silence is not weakness. It's not avoidance. It's the moment you stop participating in something that was slowly draining you. It's the point where your survival instinct finally says, enough. And here's what makes it so powerful. Silence removes the fuel. No reaction. No explanation. No emotional access. Without that, the dynamic collapses. That's why silence unsettles them. Not because they miss you, but because they've lost control over how you respond. The version of you they could provoke, confuse, or pull back in is no longer available. And now comes the hardest part, staying in that silence. Because even after everything, your mind will try to pull you back. It will replay memories. It will question your decision. It will suggest reaching out just one more time. But that's not clarity. That's conditioning. You were trained to overthink, to fix, to hold on. So, of course, letting go feels unnatural at first. But your body knows the truth. That heaviness you used to feel, that constant anxiety, that emotional exhaustion. Silence is the first time those things begin to fade. Not instantly, not perfectly, but gradually. This is what healing often looks like. It's quiet, uncomfortable, and unfamiliar. Like stepping out of a storm and realizing your ears are still ringing from the noise. And yes, there may be moments where you doubt yourself. Moments where you almost go back. That doesn't erase your progress. It just means you're human. What matters is remembering why you chose silence in the first place. It wasn't impulsive. It wasn't dramatic. It was the clearest moment you had. A moment where you saw things as they were, not as you hoped they could be. And that clarity? That's something you don't need to argue with. Because the truth is simple. You don't need to prove anything to someone who already decided not to understand you. Silence is how you step out of that cycle. It's how you stop explaining your worth. It's how you protect your energy. It's how you return to yourself. And one day, you'll notice something subtle but powerful. You're no longer waiting for them to change. You're no longer replaying every conversation. You're no longer asking, what if? Because you finally accepted what is. And in that acceptance, there's peace. Not loud, dramatic peace, but steady, grounded, real. So if you're in that silence right now, feeling the pull to break it, pause. Remember what it cost you to get here. You didn't lose your voice. You reclaimed it by choosing where it no longer goes.